Most entrepreneurs can't get approved for business credit because they apply blind, they get denied, and they waste hard inquiries. Meanwhile, they're stuck cash strapped and unable to scale. In this video, we'll show you how to exactly get approved for the US Bank Platinum card, business card, as well as the Triple Cash card. Two of the most powerful 0% business cards in the game right now on the market, and two of our favorite products from US Bank. We've helped clients secure over 6 figures in funding with banks like US Bank, including lines as high as $30,000 on one card from US Bank. There's other banks that you can get higher limits on, but this is what we've seen with US Bank, and it's been great. And we'll show you the exact approval criteria that we teach all of the clients, the business owners and entrepreneurs inside of our program. And so if you've been denied before and you want to make sure you get approved, stay locked in. And by the end of this video, you'll know exactly how to flip the script and start stacking approvals.
All right, guys. So I'm Susie. This is Austin. We're parents. We're entrepreneurs. And we are funding coaches helping entrepreneurs access capital to scale, start, or grow their business.
Now, if you are interested in that, go ahead and take a look at our page and check out some of our videos. That's all we talk about on this channel. Now let's dive directly into US Bank. All right, Sue. So what's the kicking off? I mean, we're going to talk a lot about how to get approved for the US Bank Business Platinum card, as well as the US Bank Triple Cash card. But what's off the top of your head, what's the first thing you can think of when it comes to helping entrepreneurs and business owners get approved for these cards, especially high limits?
Yeah. So specifically, US Bank, they value relationship.
Yes.
So you're better off not applying if you don't have a bank account with them. You know, I mean, you can get approved, but it's probably going to be on the low end $3K. And I've seen that over and over. Yep. So highly, highly, highly suggested that you open up a business bank account, you put some cash in it, and you start flowing some transactions through. Don't just let the money sit there. Use it. You know what I mean? Show the bank that you're actually invested in that relationship. Yeah,
we call that seasoning the account, where we put some money in there. We recommend putting in as much as you can, to be completely honest. This is what we teach the business owners in our program and our mentorship. Put as much as you can, and we want to let it sit for about 30 days or so. A minimum 30 days. That way the bank gets to eat off of it. It's a goodwill, good faith effort. By the time you double back to apply with all your ducks in a row, you should be looking pretty good.
Yep, absolutely. Yep. Relationship over everything, honestly, with this bank, especially US Bank.
That's good. Hey, if you're ready to access capital and get funding approvals like these for your business, go ahead and click the link in the description and apply to work with us. We'll be excited to walk you through the process and see if we can help you get the funding that you need. All right, let's get back to the video. So I know we probably jumped in a little too fast, but let's back up a little bit. What I love to do is just go over some of the specs from some of these couple cards, right? That's what we're going to talk about, who these cards are best for, and then some of the things that we recommend when it comes to like an approval strategy, right? We gave you a big piece of that strategy, but let's give you overarching. So first, let's cover the US Bank Triple Cash card. Let's talk about the categories, minimum spend, if they have any bonuses. You want to cover Triple Cash, and I'll cover Platinum?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay.
So the Triple Cash, you get 3% in specific categories.
Okay.
If you spend in these categories, and they're, gas,
nice,
office supplies like paper, pen, stuff like that.
Yeah.
Cell phone.
Okay.
And then also dining. So obviously if you're taking, coworkers or, employees, whatever, you can get 3% on all those.
You said 3%. So if I spend $300 cash, that means I'll get like 30 points versus I spend $3,000 on something, I'll get 300 points within. I don't know what those are called in the US Bank. I guess they're called US Bank points.
Yeah, they use points in general.
Okay.
They do have a minimum spend. It's not, the greatest, but if you spend $4,500, then you get $500 cash back.
Okay.
Not
bad.
Also, obviously, it's 0% for 12 months.
Nice.
And there's no annual fee.
Which is really good. There's not a lot of nice business credit cards that don't have annual fees.
Yeah. So this is, it doesn't cost you anything to have this card.
Yeah.
Zero.
No. It's in your best interest to get this card, which is super interesting because the business platinum is a little different, right? So the U.S. Bank Business Platinum, it's really good for balance transfers and large purchases. It has a low APR for balance transfers, which is fantastic. The APR though is it's also 0% interest card for 12 months, which is great. We love 0% interest cards. We think those are the best business cards in our personal opinion. You have access to U.S. Bank tools like spend management. It's all inside of the app and the user interface on top of the dashboard, which is awesome. Yep. There aren't any rewards like Triple Cash gives you cash back. That's why it's called Triple Cash, right? But it is great. This card is great for carrying balances. So that's the difference in the products, and that's why some people might favor it. So depending on your goals and what you're interested in, that might be it. So for Triple Cash, it's really good for entrepreneurs who have recurring business expenses, especially within those 3% categories. The Platinum, those for people that, you need a way to
leverage
float.
that.
Yes, to float large balances without any fees. So that part's pretty good. So now let's dive into the actual approval strategy. This is what we teach our mentors and or mentees, and we walk them through it, handhold them through it. It's kind of a done with you system, but it's kind of similar to other banks. I would say it's pretty similar to other banks. But let's talk about what are some of the approval criteria, things that people should have and consider making sure they're loaded with before applying to make sure they not only get approved but get approved for a high limit.
Yeah. So echoing the same thing I said earlier about this bank being super conservative, they really are. So if your credit honestly is not in the high like 750s and above,
oh wow,
you're gonna have a hard time getting approved for this card
or
this bank. So yeah, 750 or above, obviously clean profile, right? No late payments, no charge-offs, no collections, none of that stuff. And if that's the case, then we would suggest to do credit repair first.
Yes, I suggest that.
And obviously the basics, like you obviously have to have a business name, business address, business
Let's go
phone
through it
number.
because it might not be obvious for them.
Yeah.
Right?
So
that's always the thing. You don't, what might be coming for us, they might not know.
Absolutely. So business name, you want to have something that is low risk, right? Anything that's low risk doesn't pinpoint to any specific industry, right? So like, for example, our business name is Wholesome Enterprise. It's not really, telling the bank that we're in real estate, that we're in financials, that we're nothing high risk, right? And so you want to have a name that's low risk. You also want to have a business address, right? Something apart from your home, because you don't want your home on your paperwork that's, not very secure, right?
Yeah, and not professional either.
Yeah, so want to get that in check, and then also a business phone number apart from like your personal number, so that way it's distinguished, and if the bank ever calls, obviously it looks better on paper too.
Yes.
So I believe those are like the top three.
Yeah. Just a couple things I would add, going back to the credit section is obviously if you have above a 750 credit score, there aren't any negatives on your credit report. You don't have crazy utilization, but we have run people that have 700 plus credit scores, but they only have one credit card, and it's like only $5,000 limit.
Yeah, exactly.
You need to have a couple cards. You need to have a collective limit of a minimum of 15,000 or so. And if you don't have any, that just means that's what we would call a thin credit profile, super thin. So you want to get it a little bit wider. You want to have it a little bit more meatier. You want
Thickness.
yeah, exactly, like a bowl of oatmeal.
Yeah.
You would also need to, it's also good to have a good mix on there. So, pledge loans, things like that, just having some other things on your credit profile would make it a little bit more attractive. And so, and then obviously we talked about building relationships with the bank previously before applying. You want to go and do all this work. So when you go in there and you apply, you're sitting pretty. But I think that's the last tip we'd have that I think most people overlook. Do not apply online for these business credit cards. Yeah. The whole point of building a relationship with the bank is so when you go in, you're going to meet a particular person that works there, and they have a title, and their job is working with business owners. Do you know what that title is?
Yeah. So some banks call it different, but for the most part, they're business relationship managers.
Yes. Or a small business manager, or yes.
Yeah. So essentially, they only work with business owners. you want to go to them. You want to avoid having to apply online, because online you get just a random algorithm from a computer just spitting out a random number. And sometimes it does go into review, especially this bank. It'll most likely go into review for a long time.
Yeah.
As opposed to you going inside the branch, you most likely will get an approval right away. I have seen on the low end anywhere from like 3K. That's super common, especially if like no prior relationship is built. High end, I've seen it as high as like 50K. Obviously, that person has been banking with US Bank for like ever.
Yep.
All their personals, all their business accounts, everything is with US Bank. So obviously that relationship was established for a long time, and hence the big limit.
No, that's good. That's good. And so there's so much more to it. And also remember, some of you guys that you might be thinking, well, my business isn't cash flowing. I'm just starting my business, or, does this work for me? And it does. It can, if you know what you're doing. And mostly because these applications are stated income, right? When you're going in there and you're putting down your financials on these applications, you don't have to have any documentation or collateral that shows that you have assets to support what you're asking for, or you qualify for it. So there's a lot of different nuances and things like these that we help entrepreneurs with day in and day out. And if you're one of those entrepreneurs and you want to work with us, just click the link in the description. It says work with us. We don't have a lot in the description anymore. Old videos we do. Now we just keep it real simple. But click the link to work with us, fill out a survey, and we'll reach out to you and see how we can help you secure funding for your business. Specifically, even if you're interested in these credit cards, we can help you. But there's even more credit cards. There's even better credit cards out there. Business credit cards with high limits, but you have to know what you're doing. So we're excited to help if that's something that you're looking forward to. But just in general, if you just came for the US Bank breakdown, the triple cash versus platinum showdown, hopefully this video was helpful. So we appreciate you joining in, and we will see you in the next video. Later.